Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we're going to talk about the Primarchs. Not the place you buy clothes in the UK, the actual Warhammer 40k Primarchs, obviously. And I'm going to put forward, I was going to say a controversial opinion. Yes, another controversial opinion. Look, I like the Reaver's bodies, just the helmets look gash. And someone pointed out, by the way, it's the Chaplain's helmet, to which I say it's only like 2 of the Chaplain models have that helmet, and we all know that the Terminator Chaplain and the Blood Angels Chaplain are the best Chaplains anyway. Don't use that helmet to begin with, so there. Anyway, that's not the point. I'll stop doing that now. The Primarchs. We currently have 2 of them. We've got Magnus, and we have Guilliman. And the next one is almost guaranteed to be Mortarion. We've already had a little teaser of it when the Death Guard were announced. We saw his scythe there, nice. Just, snuck that in there, bit cheeky, bit of a tease. And, of course, he's mentioned repeatedly in the Dark Imperium novel as wanting to go and just have a fight with Guilliman. So, it'd be daft if he didn't turn up, especially since in the new rulebook, there's a nice 2-page spread which quite clearly shows a massive winged dude with a giant scythe about to have a go at Guilliman. So obviously Mortarion will be next. However, that will put the ratio of Traitor to Loyalist Primarchs at 2-1. And I never thought I'd say this, but I don't like the idea of Chaos outnumbering the Primarchs in terms of Chaos outnumbering the Loyalists in terms of how many Primarchs are available to them. And I will explain why now, because to advocate giving Loyalist more Primarchs, look, this is getting very confusing in my own head. It seems a bit daft, but I have a reason for it. And it's basically, it boils down to this. If we're completely and totally honest, in a straight up fight, Magnus would absolutely beat the shit out of Guilliman, and in fact he very nearly did. He would absolutely wreck not just his day, but his entire existence. He is immeasurably powerful now, he is insanely strong. Before he ascended to demonhood, he was already one of, if not the biggest Primarch. He was also one of, if not the most, psychically powerful Primarchs. And then he went all crazy and Tzeentch infested and is even bigger and stronger and more powerful than he was before. And he was already pretty damn strong and powerful. There is no way at this point that Magnus could not beat the shit out of Guilliman. And then this is where the problem lies for me. Guilliman is, of course, he's a Loyalist Primarch. He is essentially a demigod made flesh. He is incredibly strong. He is a superhuman. But that's all he is. Now before, saying that's all he is was a bit mental because he was the pinnacle of creation. Effectively, he was the best thing that you could possibly have in a fight. A Primarch was the deciding factor in God knows how many battles because they are so much stronger than those around them that they can just wreck shop all day and barely take a scratch. And those scratches they do take, they just don't even notice because they can heal so incredibly quickly. That's not enough anymore. In actual 40k, in just before the Horus Heresy and during the Horus Heresy, that was enough, just about. Now, in 40k, that's not enough. Guilliman is not enough. Just being a Primarch is not enough to save you from having the shit kicked out of you by the Traitor Primarchs, because they are literally better in almost every single way. And this is where the problem lies. We will have Magnus, who had a fight with Guilliman, and Guilliman managed to get away without dying, which, makes sense, otherwise they'd have brought the model out and immediately killed him, which would have been stupid. But now we're going to have Mortarion. And you are not telling me, there is no way that Mortarion is not in the same position as Magnus. Now he is like a living avatar of Nurgle. He will be stronger, he'll be able to take insane amounts of damage. Like absolutely incredible amounts of damage. One of the biggest things about Nurgle's gifts is that it gives you just unbelievable stopping power. And he already had that anyway. The Death Guard were famous for basically walking into full-on assault and just weathering it, coming out the other side and then killing you. That's what the Legion was known for. That's what Mortarion was known for. He is just implacable. And now he's blessed with Nurgle's gifts. The dude is going to be an absolute unstoppable freight train of hate. There's no way that Guilliman could actually take him out. Except he's going to have to survive the fight. And there's only so many times I think that we're going to be able to see Guilliman fight one of his fallen brothers, who are just so beyond him at this point in terms of just power and strength and resilience, before it gets a bit silly. Because you know full well that if the releases go as I suspect they will, we'll see Mortarion and then we'll see another Loyalist. There's going to be a fight between Guilliman and Mortarion, and there's going to be some sort of last second clutch save, presumably by some sort of lower down person, maybe a Sister of Silence, or someone sacrifices herself to nullify the effect of a debilitating illness, which means Guilliman can get that final strike in and Mortarion withdraws to save himself to come back another day. You know how it's going to go down. We can't have it go down that way every single time. The actual equivalence between the Primarchs in terms of Loyalist and Chaos is now totally off balance. It's totally fucked. During the Horus Heresy, it was anyone's guess, basically. When you had Primarchs facing off against one another, it was like, who's going to win this? Who is going to win this? It's an even competition just about, yeah, they've all got strength, they've all got weaknesses, but they're all on fairly similar standings. That has gone out the window now. That is just gone. That doesn't apply anymore. Demon Primarchs are not at the same level as Loyalist Primarchs. They are way above. I mean, let's say for instance, we had Mortarion, then we had, say, I don't know, let's say the Lion, because I think the Lion would be a really good counter to Guilliman. Guilliman is very straightforward as a character, although admittedly he's got a bit more complex now. He's the only one. He's a little bit, well, he's incredibly lonely and frustrated and just not happy about the way things have gone. But the Lion, with his secretive nature and his, let's face it, better combat abilities, would be a nice contrast to Guilliman. So let's say Mortarion comes out, the accompanying novel or book or whatever has him fight against Guilliman. Guilliman somehow survives, last minute heroics, all of that shit. That's twice now that Guilliman has survived fighting his demon brothers who have nearly killed him, but miraculously things have gone their way. That's how it's going to go. After that, we get the Lion, just as an example. Now it could be a bit more even, because you could conceivably see times whereby Guilliman and the Lion might fight one of their demon brothers together. I mean, there's already precedent for that. They've already fought Curs together. It would be nice to see an echo of that in the future in 40k, and that would somewhat address the difference in ability, the difference in power level. Having two Loyalist Primarchs versus one Demon Primarch, I could actually see maybe the Loyalist Primarchs winning, even if one of them does take severe damage, you know what I mean? That would kind of even it out a little bit, because the gifts that come with being a Demon Primarch inherently make them so much stronger. Then say, and this is where it could get a bit silly, then say it's Khorne's turn. We've had the 1,000 Suns. Tzeentch has had his day. You know, they've arrived. Awesome. Brilliant. We've had Death Guard. Mortarion's back. Brilliant. Next up, logically, you would assume it would be Khorne, because Slaanesh is going to be pushed all the way onto the back burner. God knows when they're going to got to. You know, let's not have any sexual stuff in there, guys. It's just, you know, bajillions of gallons of blood being shed every day. No sexual stuff, please. Slaanesh is going to be pushed way back. You know it. You know it. I know it. That's how it is. Khorne would be after the next Loyalist release, which, just for an example, we say is the Lion. Angron would wreck the shit out of Guilliman and the Lion one-on-one. He would. You know he would. He would annihilate them. I actually would kind of like to see the releases staggered in a different way. I genuinely would like to begin with, at least, to see maybe the Loyalists get 2 releases in a row. Because I would like to have that buffer, that element of the Imperium is, you know, it's got a bit of hope now. The Primarchs are coming back. But the Demon Primarchs are so insanely strong. They are so insanely buffed compared to their poor, non-chaos infused brothers, that the Imperium needs the Primarchs to band together when one of their demon brothers attacks, because otherwise they're going to lose one of their leaders, one of the Emperor's sons who has come back to them is going to just get wasted immediately. And I just don't know how many times we're going to have to read a traitor Primarch who feasibly and like I know I'm being very over the top with how I describe this, but there is a definite difference. There is a definite increase in power for the Demon Primarchs compared to the normal Primarchs. I don't know how many times we're going to be able to take hearing or reading that a Demon Primarch fought a loyal son of the Emperor, and the loyal son of the Emperor was so close to death, was so close to being beaten by their fallen brother, but then a squad of heroic whoever the fuck turned up and swung the battle the other way, banishing the Demon Primarch, or pushing them through a rift into the warp, or mortally wounding them so that they had to escape so they could fight another day. I don't know how many times we're going to have to read about underlings miraculously saving the lives of the Loyalist Primarchs, because that's really the only way it can work. The only other way to address the massive imbalance between the two is for there to just be one or two more Loyalist Primarchs. Even just one more would be fine. One more Loyalist Primarch than Chaos Primarchs, because then they could actually maybe fight them together, and that would make it seem a bit more fair, if anything. And even then, you could still have them lose. You could conceivably still have them lose. It just wouldn't be as catastrophic. It just wouldn't be quite as... And the brave Space Marines did banish Angron in the nick of time, because you know it's going to happen, and it's going to get tiring, and it's going to get boring. We want Primarch fighting, yeah. But I want to see Primarch fighting where either side could conceivably win, where I go into the book, into the article, into the audiobook, whatever, and I'm like, oh shit, someone could actually get severely fucked up here. I mean, obviously I know no one will, but it would be nice to have that illusion, and you're not going to get that from Loyalist Primarch A versus Chaos Primarch B, because Chaos Primarch B is just so much stronger. Now, the reason I suggest that, because you could be saying, well, what if two Chaos Primarchs gang up on the Loyalist Primarchs? You know, what if it's 2v2? I don't think that's going to happen. I honestly don't think that's going to happen, just because of the nature of Chaos itself and the nature of the Chaos Primarchs. Magnus and Mortarion were never exactly fucking BFFs to begin with. Now one of them is it's like Tzinch. The other one's Nurgle. They're not going to get on. They fucking hate each other. Those two gods hate each other with a burning passion. There is no way that Magnus and Mortarion will go anywhere near each other without having a fight about it, which would be awesome to see, but it does also, hopefully, exclude the chance of them ganging up on someone, which is good. Angron, I cannot see him being particularly inclined to team up with anyone else, except maybe Lorgar. And even then, Lorgar is, I don't know how far down the line Lorgar is. He might be the fourth. He could be the fourth traitor Primarch, actually. So we've had Magnus, we've had Mortarion, and if we have Angron after that, that would cover 3 of the 4 gods. Lorgar turning up as a demon Primarch of Chaos Undivided, that could work, but I don't think until we got to him would we particularly be at risk of, like, you know, Angron and Mortarion teaming up, or Magnus and Mortarion teaming up, or Magnus and Angron. Like, I don't see that happening, because 2 of them fucking hate each other and their gods hate each other, and it would just be a civil war. And the other one is not going to give a fuck about strategic placement of battle or anything like that. He's there to kill. He's there primarily to just kill and kill and kill and kill and kill. And you can try and make all the battle plans you like. I don't think it would make a difference to him, and I don't think he'd be bothered with it. It would just be a waste of his time and distract him from what he could be doing, which is killing the shit out of entire populations. So, until we get a demon Primarch of Chaos Undivided in the form of Lorgar or Perturbo, I don't see any of the Chaos Primarchs actually teaming up together, which is a good thing. But you can see the Loyalist Primarchs teaming up together, which would make it more feasible when they do fight singular Chaos Primarchs, because then they'd have a chance. Then it would be a better fight than, oh, Loyalist is getting the shit kicked out of him and then he was rescued, because that's all it's going to be. So, much though I don't like saying it, and much though Space Marines get all of the good shit anyway, I would genuinely like to see a point in the near future where Loyalist Primarchs outnumber Chaos Primarchs, just to address the inherent imbalance that comes with Chaos Primarchs being so fucking roided up on warp energy and blessings from their respective gods. But that's just what I reckon. That's just what I'd like to see. Do you agree? Do you think actually we're okay doing like alternates? Would you just like to see alternates until all of the missing alive Chaos Primarchs come back? Or would you like to see that kind of unspoken imbalance addressed in some way? Would you like to maybe see a Chaos Primarch be nerfed a little bit so they don't have the undivided, well, not the undivided, the kind of favoritism of their god so much anymore, weakening them to make them more equivalent? It's an interesting thing to think about. I would like to know what you think. I always read the comments, so make sure you leave a comment below and tell me what you reckon of this, and whether you think there is imbalance, or maybe you don't think they're imbalanced at all. Maybe you think they're just pretty much the same as they were. As I say, let me know. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. As always, there's loads of bullshit on the screen to click. There's a subscribe thing, a Patreon thing, there's more videos, so do what you like. Click any of them if you want to, and if you don't want to, that's fine too. It's up to you. I will see you next time. Toodaloo.